Beatport Streaming first appeared on standalone record box hardware in 2023 with the addition of StreamingDirectPlay to the Pioneer DJ CDJ3000s, and it was available from launch on the new Alpha Theta xdj-az all-in-one DJ system. Users of those devices can already access the full Beatport Streaming catalogue when they have an active subscription to the advanced or professional plans. Today, we're pleased to announce that StreamingDirectPlay for Beatport has been added via a firmware update to two more record box all-in-ones, the Pioneer DJ OPUS-QUAD and the Alpha Theta OMNIS-DUO. In this video, we'll take you through the steps required to get your device updated to enable this feature and show you how it works. We'll begin with the process of downloading the firmware update and getting it ready to install, which will apply to both the OPUS-QUAD and the OMNIS-DUO. The first thing you'll need to do is head to pioneerdj.com, then navigate to Support and the Downloads page. Locate your device in the list and then click through to the firmware page. Here you'll see a list of changes made in the most recent update. The version number will be different for you as this video is being recorded prior to release. Click on the latest version to download it, and you may also want to download the installation instructions to keep those handy too. Locate the file you just downloaded on your computer. It will be a zip file, so double click it to extract it. That will then give you a file with an extension of .upd. That is the firmware update file that you need. To install the firmware to your device, it needs to be added to the root folder of a drive formatted as FAT32 or MS-DOS FAT as it's named on Macs. If your current record box USB drive is already formatted in FAT32, you can just drag the update file straight into the root folder of that drive and you're good to go. If not, you might need to format a drive specifically for this purpose. Please note at this point that formatting a drive will delete all of the files currently on there, so make sure there's nothing important on the drive before formatting. On a Mac, formatting is done via Applications, Utilities, Disk Utility. On Windows, you can right-click on the drive in Explorer and choose Format Drive. Once you have a drive formatted as FAT32, again drag the update file to the root folder of the drive and it's time to head to your hardware. Firstly, make sure there are no drives already connected to the OPUS-QUAD, and if you have anything connected into the Pro DJ Link port, remove that too. Then with the power switched off, hold down the beat sync and master buttons on the right deck and then turn on the power. When the message Connect USB storage device into top USB 1 port is displayed, you can release the two buttons as the unit is ready to accept the update. At that stage, take the USB drive you prepared earlier and plug it into the top USB 1 port as instructed. Once the update file has been checked, the OPUS-QUAD will show you progress bars indicating that the installation is happening. Be sure that you don't power off the unit or disconnect the drive during this process. Once the update has completed, the OPUS-QUAD will display this message on screen, and at that point you can cycle the power and you're ready to start using StreamingDirectPlay with Beatport Streaming. To update the OMNIS-DUO, first of all make sure that you have the power supply connected to the device. You can't perform the update when running off the battery. Ensure there are no USB drives attached and that the SD card slot is also empty. Then with the power turned off, hold down both beat jump buttons on the right deck and long press the power button to switch the unit on. Once you see the message Connect USB storage device into USB port, you can release those buttons and insert your USB drive containing the update file into the port on the rear. At that stage, you'll see the progress of the update. Again, don't disconnect the power supply or the USB drive during the process, and once it is finished, you'll see the message telling you the update is complete, and you can power cycle the OMNIS-DUO to get started with your newly updated unit. Actually using StreamingDirectPlay with Beatport Streaming is very similar to using local files on your drives or Cloud Direct Play, but there are a few things worth pointing out to you. Firstly, you'll want to have a record box compatible drive attached at all times when using StreamingDirectPlay. This means that as your OPUS-QUAD or OMNIS-DUO perform BPM and beat grid analysis on the tracks you play, that analysis data will be saved to your drive, meaning that the next time you load that track, even from a different playlist, it doesn't need to be analysed again. It also means that any hot cues, loops and memory cues you set on those tracks during playback will be recalled too. It is important to be aware that once a track has been fully loaded to a deck, it is cached to the device's memory, so you can start playing it right away even before the analysis has completed. And that means that if you were to somehow lose internet connectivity during play, then any tracks already loaded to decks will continue to play back in full. Both the OPUS-QUAD and the OMNIS-DUO feature Wi-Fi connectivity, but if it's your first time using it, you may find that your Wi-Fi network isn't showing up in the list of available ones, and that might be because it's a 2.4 GHz network. Whilst StreamingDirectPlay is ideally used with a faster 5 GHz network, it is also compatible with 2.4 GHz, and to enable that, you need to go into the utility menu on your device. On the OPUS-QUAD, the option to enable it is in the Network tab, and on the OMNIS-DUO, it's found under General. Make sure you turn Wi-Fi off before going in to change that setting. Accessing StreamingDirectPlay is done via the source menu on both devices. Choose Beatport from the source list, and then you'll be prompted to type in your Beatport username and password. Once you've logged in, you have full access to the entire Beatport streaming catalogue. In the columns on the left in the Browse menu, you'll see the top 100. Click through to that and you can access the top 100 tracks in each of our genres. Below that is the Genre tab, which gives you the latest tracks in those genres, and the next tab down is where you'll find all of our expertly curated playlists, again broken down by genre. The final tab is called My Playlist, where you can access all of your own personal playlists that you've created on the Beatport site or in the Beatport DJ web app. It's also worth noting that if you enter the search mode whilst using StreamingDirectPlay as your source, then your search results will be pulled from the entire Beatport streaming catalogue. All of these options make Beatport Streaming on the OPUS-QUAD and OMNIS-DUO a very powerful tool for music discovery. So there's one final thing to point out. If you'd like to hear what a track sounds like without actually loading it to a deck, then you can utilize Link Preview by holding down on the waveform of a track in the Browse view, or where the waveform would be if you've never loaded the track before. This gives you an ideal way to quickly check out how a track sounds in your headphones, even with other tracks already loaded and playing on the decks. We hope you found this guide useful and enjoy using StreamingDirectPlay on your OPUS-QUAD or OMNIS-DUO. To learn more about Beatport Streaming, head to stream.beatport.com now, where you can try this service free for 30 days. Thanks for watching.